Hi, I'm Anna. I have spent over 20 years in high pressure environments in healthcare and leadership. Here at BA Solutions, we specialize in crisis leadership, team dynamics, and helping people navigate how to deal with situations when things go sideways. Most leadership failures don't come from one big thing. They come from a bunch of smaller events that have happened over time, and before you realize it, your teams are already frustrated, disengaged, and things are starting to fall apart. I'm going to talk about 10 leadership mistakes that I see over and over again and how they quietly destroy teams. I've seen this in healthcare, in leadership, and in high stress environments. None of this is theoretical. These are the things that will absolutely break down a team in real time. None of these are big on their own, but put together, it will destroy your culture if you're not paying attention. Number one is avoidance. If you see an issue, deal with it early, because if you don't deal with it, it's going to grow. And unfortunately, we would like to deal with it when it's a molehill. If we don't, it's going to end up being Mount Everest. Number two is lack of preparation. When you walk into a room and you're not prepared, whether it's your leader, whether it's your team, they're going to feel it. If you present data that you can't back up, you're going to lose credibility. So try to take the time, even if it's 30 to 60 seconds, to look over information and at least step in prepared and be able to ask for follow-up time. Number three is jumping to conclusions. And unfortunately, I see this one a lot. This is where a lot of our leadership ends up coming across looking like it's reactionary. When you are moving so fast and you don't look into the entire problem before you make a decision. So what you want to do is slow down, take a breath, and you want to investigate a little bit, at least, before you make a decision. Number four, losing control of the conversation. When you don't lead the room is going to lead itself. And that in and of itself is going to cause chaos. So in order to avoid that, you want to set guardrails, whether it's by an agenda, whether it's by objectives, but make sure you set standards for whatever conversation you have. Number five, talking too much and not listening. And unfortunately, we don't do this intentionally. I think we are just trying to get through very quickly and trying to stay on task. And unfortunately, we end up missing things. So take the time and listen. Number six, ignoring early warning signs. Whether something doesn't feel right in a room, whether the tone is off, whether the body language isn't right, if you know your team and you just can feel that there's tension, you want to make sure that you manage it quickly, because unfortunately, if you don't, it will end up escalating. Number seven, overreacting emotionally. If there's an event that happens and all of a sudden everything changes, everything turns into whiplash. Unfortunately, when we do that, we lose trust with our teams. So if you do have an event, and even though you may need to move quickly, you want to make sure that you're decisive and you want to make sure that you're thoughtful and make sure that you keep the trust of your team and make sure to communicate without that emotion. Number eight, not identifying key players. If you don't know who's in the room and you don't know what role they play, it is really hard to understand or even be able to know how that a lot of these decisions get made. So make sure before you step in a room, make sure you understand who's in the room so that you can be more effective, especially when it comes to advocating for your teams. Number nine, delayed decision making. Unfortunately, whether it's because we're busy, whether it's because there's a multitude of committees that have to be involved, we end up delaying really important decisions. And when that happens, that creates ambiguity. When that happens, your team is going to end up making the decision for you. And sometimes that creates misalignment. Number 10, failure to close the loop. If we don't follow up and we do not communicate, our teams are going to think that nothing was done concerning this. And this is when we lose trust. This is a really important one. Please make sure that you close the loop. These mistakes usually don't show up as massive failures. They show up as miscommunication, frustration, and a slow breakdown of trust. Leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware, and it's about watching the patterns of your teams so that if you do see something change and you do see something off, that you can catch it and fix it in real time. If you see this in your team or you see this in yourself, start with one, fix one, and you'll notice that everything else will start to improve. If you want a breakdown of these 10 mistakes and how to fix them, we've actually put together a free playbook. It will actually help you in real time on how to manage these situations. If you are interested, please drop a comment below, or you can email me at the email that I've posted in the description. If you felt this was helpful and want to watch more of our content, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.